So in the late 90s, Dad started to work part-time for a charity called Solihull Special Needs Partnership, supporting parents of children with disabilities and special educational needs. Dad really enjoyed the opportunities to befriend and support parents who were experiencing challenges with caring for their children. And as part of that, he met a number of children on the autistic spectrum. And over the years, he developed a specialism in caring and supporting children and young people with Asperger's syndrome. The charity he was working for lost its funding, but Dad could see a great need. He felt that God spoke to him about what he should do next through a Bible verse, Proverbs 31, verse 8. Speak up for those who cannot speak for themselves. Speak up and judge fairly. This led him, with the support of some very effective friends, to establish the charity Family Equip. And that was the degree bit that he went on to study in preparation. So in preparation for starting Family Equip, he completed a degree in child and adolescent mental health because he thought that would be really important as part of this work. And in establishing Family Equip, Dad supported many families to get appropriate schooling for their children and also to give wise advice on managing family life, and also set up therapeutic clubs where Dad loved to spend time. And you can kind of see that on the joy on his face there. I think the best person to explain something of the impact of Family Equip is one of the young people they supported, Autism, who himself has gone on to champion people living with Asperger's, speaking at events across the country and on radio and TV. Alex, do you want to come up and join us?
Hello, hope you can hear me. So David was, in my life anyway, one of the most influential people that I've ever met. And I always say that without David, I wouldn't be where I am today. I remember the first time I ever met David when I was about 10 years old. And I'm now 28 and still involved with Family Equip today, helping to run the clubs and run the charity. So I'm immensely grateful for everything David did. But on that first ever time I met him, me and my parents remember that he came to visit me at my house, and before I started attending the charity's therapeutic clubs, or as me and my granddad always liked to call them, Worties. So every week we would say, "Oh, are you going to Worties today?" So that's what we like to call them. But my parents remember how lovely he was, and my dad remembers that as soon as he arrived, I went straight up to my bedroom and brought down loads of stuff that I collected and loads of my treasures. And he remembers how, interested David was in the things that I was showing him. So that was, my first ever meeting with David, and he was literally one of the most amazing people I've ever met. And I know from everyone involved with Family Equip will be sadly missed. Now, some people don't have access to the support that David and Family Equip gave to me and my family, and for that, we will be forever grateful. And whilst David helped my family, the number of other people he helped was absolutely incredible. I just don't think people realise the amount of people that he actually went on to help. I mean, he helped my family personally in getting me a diagnosis of Asperger's. He helped to get me into a secondary school that supported individuals with Asperger's and with autism. And he actually helped me and my parents with a lot of the challenges I was going through when I was in school. But I was speaking to a lady about 2 weeks ago, and she said that when she was having problems with her son at school and didn't know what to do, David actually, on many occasions, went into many meetings at the school with her to help her support in the decisions that were being made for her son at school. And I knew he helped so many people, but just this one person that he helped that intensely was absolutely amazing. And even in the last few years, when David took a step back from sort of the face-to-face elements of Family Equip, you wouldn't believe the amount of work he was doing behind the scenes. And I remember once going around to his house to help him put together a funding bid, and I can't tell you how long and stressful that funding bid was to actually put together. And he was doing this kind of thing, on a regular basis. So the amount of work he was putting in to actually running Family Equip, even from behind the scenes, was incredible. And I've spoken to some of my friends, and they've said some amazing things about how these clubs and Family Equip actually supported them. One of my friends said, it removed the elements of feeling like I was different from everyone else, and the number of happy memories I have from the clubs, hobbies I was able to engage with, and friends I made was absolutely incredible. And another of my friends who used to go to the clubs with me said, I really liked how we used to sit around the table, and David would teach us all about different life skills and how to cope in different situations. I used to look forward to the club so much and loved all of the naughty foods that David gave us. And when I first went to the younger groups, I was quite shy, but after a few weeks, I was no longer nervous because I knew how welcoming David was. And that was just, some of the impacts he had on individuals. And as we all know, David was a Crystal Palace fan, and I was lucky enough to go to the final when they won a few weeks ago, when they won the FA Cup and their first ever trophy. And I know that I'm obsessed with football and can support any club, but it felt extra special being able to support Crystal Palace because of David. And I remember a few years ago going around to his house, and I was talking to David about Crystal Palace and football, and he then proceeded to tell me that he had a favourite football club in each of the top 5 divisions in England. And I thought this was absolutely amazing. And I have a favourite club in each of these divisions, and I'd never met anyone else who'd also got a favourite club in each of these divisions. And my mum and dad always called me like a football nerd, and I was so happy and so excited to be able to tell my parents that there was another guy like me who was also one of these football nerds, so that was great. But yeah, I just hope David realised the impact he's had on so many families over the past 20, 30, however many years. It's been incredible. And I just want to end by giving you an example of how kind and thoughtful a man he was. But the last time that I ever met him, me and Adam, who also helps to run the clubs, went round to see him. And we actually asked him what he would like for the clubs and the charity going forward. And he said that he would love for the two of us to carry on running the clubs and running the charity. But then he finished by saying, we must make sure that we have time to do this, and that we should only carry on if we want to, which just goes to show, what an incredible person he was. And I would just like to say, on behalf of everyone involved in Family Equip, we are all so grateful for the amazing support that he gave to us, over the past so many years. So, yeah, big thank you to David.
Just to echo that, just yesterday I had an email from somebody who actually was taught by Dad at Sharman's Cross School, and I've been wondering if there was anybody I could ask about that. And they sent a lovely email because their child had actually also ended up being supported through Family Equip, and talking about what a wonderful experience. And there we go. We've got is it Julie? So yeah, thank you for your email. It was really encouraging. And her, as a lovely circle, her daughter now teaches a couple of my children. So really lovely.